Swadika, good morning. Welcome to Newsline. We're coming live to you on NBT, Radio Thailand, FM 88, and also NBT World. It's a lovely Sunday. I'm Cholapansa Narula. Thank you very much for joining us in today's edition. In today's Thailand Moves Forward, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha joins people around the world in mourning the passing of Saudi King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz. Prime Minister Prayut condolence message reads, "I would like to extend my deepest condolences and sympathy to Your Majesty, members of the royal family of Saudi Arabia, as well as to the government and the people of Saudi Arabia in this moment of bereavement." It is written on behalf of the Thai government and the Thai people. General Prayut also admired the Saudi king's leadership and contributions to global peace and international understanding, as well as great services to Islam and all Muslims around the world. Meanwhile, the Secretariat of the Cabinet has issued an announcement asking all government officers to lower their flags to half-mast for 3 days in tribute to Saudi Arabia's late king, Abdullah bin Abdulaziz. And world leaders started to arrive in Saudi Arabia on Saturday to meet its new king, Salman, after the death of his predecessor, Abdullah, on Friday, January 23rd. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, the Crown Prince of Morocco, Prince Moulay Rashid, and Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Abdel Aziz were among the first world leaders to arrive in Riyadh. Yang Jiechi, a member of China's State Council and former foreign minister, also touched down in the Saudi capital. Russia's Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron, French President François Hollande, and Japan's Crown Prince Naruhito will also visit on Sunday to offer condolences. U.S. President Barack Obama will cut short a trip to India to pay his respects on Tuesday instead of Vice President Joe Biden, who had been scheduled to fly in from Washington. Back in Thailand, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has urged taxi operators not to take advantage of passengers, referring to the infamous case involving a cab driver at Suvarnabhumi Airport and a Japanese tourist that has gone viral on the social media. During his weekly broadcast program, Return the Happiness to the People, the General talked about the government's attempt to reorganize Suvarnabhumi Airport's taxi services. According to him, an advanced queue management system is used at the airport in order to eliminate the problems of taxi drivers choosing passengers. The number of complaints on drivers' failure to turn on the meter or turning down passengers has increased, said the Prime Minister, adding that the airport has set up taxi checkpoints at Gate 1 to 8 since January 19th. Staff at checkpoints are to make sure that all cab drivers turn on their meters and to inspect passengers' queue tickets. Passengers are also advised to keep their tickets during the entire trip and not to give them to the drivers. General Prayut also asked all cab drivers not to take advantage of passengers and to turn on the fare meter every time the cab is in service. Most importantly, they must not turn down passengers, be they Thais or foreigners. Meanwhile, the Department of Land Transport has been tasked with studying the feasibility of raising the surcharge for taxi service at Suvarnabhumi Airport to 100 baht from the 50 baht at present. Taxi drivers at Suvarnabhumi International Airport have complained to authorities they are not making adequate income and have requested that the 50 baht surcharge be raised to 100. Air Chief Marshal Prachin Chantong, the Minister of Transport, said evaluation of the proposal from taxi drivers will be completed by January 29th. If the feasibility study result is in favor of the proposal, a surcharge increase may be allowed. The required regulation amendment for such a rise would take about 2 weeks to complete, said the minister. Air Chief Marshal Prachin acknowledged that larger 5-door taxis had higher costs of operation than the usual 4-door taxis. He also noted that the surcharge at Don Mueang Airport would also be raised if an increase in the surcharge at Suvarnabhumi went ahead. The National Legislative Assembly has resolved to impeach former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra, effectively barring her from political activities for 5 years. In a secret ballot, the legislators voted 190 to 18 with 8 abstentions to strip Ms. Yingluck of her rank as former Prime Minister, effective immediately. The impeachment also removes the former Prime Minister's political rights by disallowing her from voting or seeking political office for 5 years. The impeachment motion against her was filed by the anti-graft body, who suggested that Ms. Yingluck would be charged with allowing corruption to take place in the rice pledging scheme under her premiership. The lawmakers also voted 115 to 100 and 120 to 95 not to impeach former House and Senate Speakers Somsak Ketranon and Nukom Vairachpanit. Both of the former speakers were tried for their attempts to amend the Senate Origin Bill. And the Office of the Attorney General is planning to file a criminal lawsuit against former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra in the Supreme Court following her government's failed rice scheme. The director of the Office of the Attorney General, Surasakri Ratrakul, and office's deputy spokesperson, Kosonwat Intuchanyong, held a press conference where they said they had sufficient evidence to prosecute Ms. Yingluck for allowing the rice scheme to be corrupted. The National Anti-Corruption Commission submitted a letter asking the Office of the Attorney General to pursue criminal charges against Ms. Yingluck under the law. They added that a working team had been set up to review and verify the evidence twice. The lawsuit is expected to be filed within 1 month. And the spokesperson of the Royal Thai Army and National Council for Peace and Order, Colonel Winthai Suwari, has said the NCPO did not intervene in Friday's vote by the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, to impeach former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. Colonel Winthai confirmed the NCPO was still in charge of maintaining peace and order within the country. There had not yet been any movements by the ex-premier supporters after the vote, only comments from those who did not agree with the impeachment. Colonel Winthai added that the NCPO wanted the public to understand that martial law was still necessary and avoid stirring up conflicts. He also asked people to trust their government and help move on the country into the second phase of the National Reform Roadmap. The National Reform Council's Committee on Public Participation and Hearing is gearing itself up for countrywide public hearing sessions, which are due to begin next month. According to the chairman of the National Reform Council's Committee on Public Participation and Public Hearings, Prachatirat, the brainstorming activities will run from February until September across the country. In each province, there will be 11 meetings, one of which will be a provincial-level meeting, while others will be the district-level ones. The discussions will focus on 3 main issues, namely the solutions to corruption, how to select good politicians to help administration, and ways to bridge social gaps. Regarding difficulties involving the performance of duty, Mr. Prachar said his committee had not yet encountered any serious problems except for the very limited budget. When asked whether the impeachment of former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra would affect the brainstorming sessions in some areas, the NRC member said the political ban faced by the former Prime Minister was unlikely to infuriate participants in the meetings, as those chosen to join the activities come from various sectors in the society. Prime Minister's Office Minister Mamluang Panatta Disakun said Malaysian and Singaporean investors expressed more confidence to invest in Thailand after the situation in the country has improved. Investors from CIMB on Saturday met with the Prime Minister's Office Minister and representatives of the Board of Investment of Thailand, or BOI, at the Government House on Thailand's economic and social issues. Their trip was inspired by foreign investors' increasing confidence in Thailand in terms of industry, transport and tourism. The CIMB investors also asked for information about BOI's investment incentives and results of the studies on the government's administration, politics, national reconciliation, as well as corruption problems. Mamluang Panatta added that the investors said they were interested in special economic zones in Tak and Samui. The BOI representative explained that the government's investment policy to them, stressing that investment in the special economic zones must support tourism in the areas. The Department of Royal Rainmaking Agricultural Aviation is set to expedite the rainmaking project and set up new operation centres to deal with the drought, which is likely to be severe this year. The Department of Royal Rainmaking Aviation has decided to advance a schedule of rainmaking operation from March to February, as the country has already begun to experience the effects of El Niño. As this year's dry season is predicted to be more severe than 2013, the department has planned to set up 13 rainmaking operation centers across the country and another 2 fast-moving aviation units in Nakhon Sawan province to alleviate the drought crisis and smog problems caused by the slash-and-burn agricultural technique that persists in the central and northern regions. The department is also preparing to request additional budgets for the establishment of another 2 rainmaking operational centers in Tak and Ubon Ratchathani to increase the water level in major dams, namely Bhumipol Dam, Sirikit Dam, and also Ubon Rat Dam. The first Thailand Gourmet Festival 2015 has been officially kicked off at Siam Paragon as one of the projects under the 2015 Discover Thailand campaign. The event is expected to attract more than 20,000 visitors. Tourism and Sports Minister Kopkan Wattana Warangkoon said that Thai food was one of a kind and foreign tourists loved it. Thus, the Department of Tourism decided to join hands with the National Food Institute, Thailand Chefs Association, and other relevant organizations in organizing the festival with the objective to enhance the global awareness of Thai cuisine. The department also plans to raise the standards of Thailand's cultural and food tourism to world-class level. The first Thailand Gourmet Festival 2015 is one of the department's efforts in the matter. It is also hoped to economically benefit food-related industries such as food, retail, and hotels. The festival will continue or is held until today. Now to OTOP. Phetchabun kicked off the One Tambon, One Product or OTOP Fair 2015, featuring the province's famous sweet tamarind and other local delicacies. The event will end at the end of this month. Phetchabun Governor Pandit Tewi Thiwarak presided over the fair's opening ceremony held at the lawn in front of the local city hall on Friday. According to the organizer, the event aims at providing another distribution channel for the local OTOP vendors in Phetchabun and also nearby provinces, helping generate income for them and promoting tourist attractions in the area at the same time. After presiding over the event, Governor Bandit and his entourage visited the fair, sampling the goods and food as well as purchasing some products. Aside from local famous snacks, sweet tamarind, the fair also boasts a wide range of other commodities and utility products. Visitors have until the end of this month to enjoy the event. And Sisakhet Province on Thursday launched its annual Red Onion Festival. It's held at Chum Noi District, promoting the area's well-known product, red onion. The fair will end this weekend, this Sunday, of course. Deputy Sisakhet Governor Permsak Chawirak officially kicked off the fair held in the front yard of the district office. Joining the ceremony were district officers, municipality officials, local administration members, government employees, and the private sector. About 20 vending stalls were set up in the event, featuring agricultural product contest and best decorated stall competition, with the Miss Red Onion beauty pageant being the highlight of the fair. According to officials, the purpose of the event is to promote and market the province's famous red onion to larger communities and also middlemen, while creating unity among fellow red onion farmers in the area. Interested individuals are invited to visit the fair, which has been held since Thursday, and the fair will conclude today. And once again, that's the Red Onion Festival being held in Sisakhet Province. That brings us to the end of today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. We'll have a look at the exchange rates and also some of the commodity prices, and then Newsline will take a short break. We will return with the international news segment. Stay with us.
maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 12 core values: putting the public and national interest before one's own.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
NBT World, a 24-hour English language television service operated by the National News Bureau of Thailand, or NNT, is designed to bring the most reliable information about Thailand to the international community. NBT World is available on various platforms, including via C-band set-top boxes, GMMZ Channel 202, PSI Channel 272, and a live stream on thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. You can also follow us on facebook.com/NNT News or download the PRD News EN application on your smartphones. NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Now to international news. China will continue to play a constructive role in promoting peace process and work with Myanmar to safeguard peace and stability along the border. China respects Myanmar's sovereignty and also territorial integrity and supports its efforts in accomplishing national peace and reconciliation, said the Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying at a press briefing recently. China hopes the related parties in Myanmar will reach nationwide ceasefire and create a favorable environment for national development through peace talks. The clashes between the rebel Kachin Independence Army, or KIA, and the government forces broke out in the northern state of Kachin earlier this month, following KIA's ambush of a convoy of Kachin State Transport Minister, the Global New Light of Myanmar reported. Hua also confirmed at the briefing that 155 Chinese nationals had been detained by Myanmar authorities for illegal logging. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe expressed anger early today at a video recording purporting announcing the execution of a Japanese citizen by Islamic State militants. Speaking at an emergency cabinet meeting in Tokyo, Abe reiterated the government's view that the video, which appeared to show an executed Haruna Yukawa with the voice of captive Kenji Goto, was an outrageous and unacceptable act. The video, which was released on YouTube on Saturday before being deleted, showed an image of a gaunt Goto in an orange T-shirt and a recording of what appeared to be him speaking in English. In the apparent recording, Goto says Yukawa had been executed. On Tuesday, Abe said it would kill the two men unless Japan paid $200 million within 72 hours. And in the wake of the latest video, Mr. Abe said Japan would not bow to terrorism. Moving to Egypt, 5 police conscripts and a woman were wounded when a car exploded in a Cairo suburb. One of the injured is in critical condition and has been transferred to the emergency room, but the rest are in stable condition and will be discharged from the hospital, said a health ministry official. A team of experts inspected the vehicle and site after the blast. No group or persons have claimed responsibility for the attack. A passerby recently rescued an old woman who attempted to commit suicide by jumping off a third-story balcony in Dazhou City, southwest China's Sichuan province. The rescuer, Li Huochuan, 22, saw the 88-year-old woman trying to climb over her balcony and quickly climbed up to save her. After reaching the second floor, 3 meters beneath the old woman, Lee found that he had no strong support on which to climb to the third floor. Within about 20 seconds, Lee managed to reach the old lady and pull her to safety. According to the old woman's neighbors, she underwent surgery on her leg and was concerned about being a burden on her son's family. The neighbors said the old woman, who has been sick for many years and is cared for by her son, tried to commit suicide while her son was out shopping. Moving on to Mexico. Mexico has detected the spread of the painful mosquito-borne viral disease chikungunya from the state of Chiapas to Oaxaca state, where 7 new cases have been reported. The Latin American country reported the first domestic case of the virus in Chiapas state, located in the southwest of the country in November last year. Chikungunya is spread by 2 mosquito species and is typically not fatal, but it can cause debilitating symptoms including fever, headache, and severe joint pains lasting months. Sanitary brigades were seen fumigating streets and houses in the Oaxaca town of Tapanatepec in a bid to control further outbreak. Oaxaca's health ministry said the cases had been reported to the east of the state, bordering with Chiapas. And the world's only surviving giant panda triplets are 6 months old. Panda breeders in their home, southern China city of Guangzhou, held a birthday party for them. All the cubs are in good health and their fur turned black and white like their mother from being pink when born. They have begun to eat some fresh bamboos by themselves, according to the breeding park. A breeder said that being 6 months old shows a sign of a stable life now. The triplets are living with their mother all day long. All of them weigh above 12 kilograms, are in good condition as well, said the panda breeder Shen Shu King. The cubs were born within 4 hours of each other on July 29, 2014 in Guangzhou, capital of the South China's Guangdong province. They are the longest living set of panda triplets in history. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you do have any comments or suggestions, please email them to us. The email address is now appearing on your screen, newsline.nbt@gmail.com. Also reminding you that you can also follow us on Facebook by typing NNT in the search box, and you'll find out more about what's happening in Thailand and also around the world. Our website is thainews.prd.go.th/newseng if you want to have a look at our website. It's time now to say goodbye for this Sunday's edition. We'll take you to Doi Intanon National Park, which is in Chiang Mai province, to have a look at the atmosphere there. I'm Chalapansa Narula. Thank you very much for watching us. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here at Newsline on NBT. สวัสดีค่ะ
A preliminary report to the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO, early next week, in line with ICAO regulations that the preliminary report must be filed within 30 days of the date of the accident. The National Transportation Safety Committee told reporters that the report would be a preliminary one without comment or analysis, and it will not be exposed to the public. It said the report is for the consumption of those countries that are involved. The final report of the crash investigation findings, which will be made public, must be filed within a year. And elsewhere in the world, 100 robots danced in unison to the tune of music on Tuesday in a fashion reminiscent of the mass games. The 34-centimeter tall 1-kilogram robot named Robi was designed by Tomotaka Takahashi, who manages the robotics company Robo Garage. The robots are not available right off the shelves. However, enthusiasts may be thrilled to know that the Robis have to be built. Toy and publishing company De Agostino Japan dismantled the robot into 75 pieces and put them in a weekly magazine on Robi. The reader is asked to reassemble the robot independently with a weekly installment of parts, one per week, for 1.5 years, starting in 2013. After testing an arm here and building a leg there, a Robi may be formed. A full complement of robot parts comes at a steep price of 140,000 yen, or $1,200 US, when purchasing all weekly magazines. The company has done so to make the process of building and forking out the money for the diminutive robot less of a steep wall to scale. To date, about 60,000 Robis have been completed. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT, and you can check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. We're going to say goodbye today with the 139th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, which is the most famous and most prestigious dog show in the U.S., being held in New York. Have a great day. I'm Sandra Hanud Saha. Sawadee ka.